Welcome and welcome back, my dear tarot pals, to another Pick a Card reading. Today we're going to be looking at career, money, finances, guidance, what's coming up, what to expect. I've not really set a timeline for this, so of course it's timeless. Whenever you find it, there must be a message for you to listen to. If you've just found me through an algorithm search, welcome to the Tarot Pal community. Do consider subscribing if you like tarot and divination guidance and this reading resonates with you. I'm also on Instagram. You will find all relevant details for personal readings as well as the Instagram link in the description box below. There's a playlist called Timeless Readings where you will find a plethora of topics I've covered. Again, which are timeless, and you would find some of the other guidance for you there. On that note, let's start off right away with, let's take out the cards first. I'm going to pick out 3 cards if you're new to pick a card, and you may feel drawn to more than one pile, of course. Listen to your intuition. And on that, let us start off with our pile number 1. Okay, that's for pile 1, Othala. And we'll keep it aside and I'll place them together in a bit. 1 second. Pile number 2 is Raido. Pile number 3 would be this one, which is Wunjo or Wunjo, okay, whichever way you want to pronounce it. All right, let us clear this out and let me put the crystals that I feel work right with this, okay? And I'll give you a close-up of the crystals. So pile 3, 2, and 1. And feels like the only switch it needs is this, okay? Or maybe it was just perfect the way it is. Here you go. Okay. So pile 1 again is Othala. And your crystal option is Azurite and Malachite. Just 1 second, let me get the brightness right so that you can hopefully see this better. Yes. Okay, that is your first option. Pile number 1, Malachite with Azurite. And for option number 2, we have Pyrite. And yeah, that's your crystal, a pyramid of Pyrite. And you have for option number 3, Wunjo with the Citrine. Okay, you may pause the video if you need more time, and I will see you in your respective piles. Hello and welcome pile number 1. So those of you who's picked this Othala and my tarot piles like to know my pile selection, that's the pile I've gone with. Let's first talk about the rune and the crystal that you've been drawn to today. This rune talks about ancestors and the blessings of ancestors in your life, a very protective energy. It links to also, if you're watching this when I posted, it's of course a live, it's of course a timeless one, but it links to the energy that we're currently in, which is of course Halloween, which is the energy of praying for the dead and praying for those who have passed along and are doing a lot of DNA healing work. This is a great time for that, okay? I also am drawn to the girl and that mother knitting something together. I was drawn to knitting today morning. Some of you may actually be thinking about knitting a business, or if it's not actually like literal knitting, you may be pulling through different ideas together to bring a cohesive plan into action, okay? Some of you may actually be linked to an industry where women play a tremendously important role. So it could be anything, related to women empowerment, or just a more female heavy workforce is also perhaps likely the kind of profession that you're in. I am definitely drawn to the amount of greens that this card has, and the greens and that ferns growing could also be linked to the plants. And I noticed the plant showering at me, of course, on that camera right there as well. Which of course talk about growth, talk about abundance, talk about prosperity. There's a lot of flowering or blooming energy that comes in through this particular rune, okay? Talking about the crystal that you've been drawn to, a supremely strong crystal to work with if you do have strong Scorpio placements in your birth chart. This crystal is very special to me personally because it is definitely the first one, if I'm not mistaken, that I ever own, okay? And it came to me. I didn't really go looking for it. Somebody gave it to me, and then, I mean, of course I bought it, but the story has its own relevance for me. Malachite and Azurite is a great combination when it comes to business. So if you're a self-employed person, or if you are at a particular level wherein you do create an impact on a larger audience, you could be at a higher designation, you could be somebody who manages something on their own yet creates a solid impact on the larger community, this is a wonderful crystal to work with. It's also called the merchant stone, and it's called the merchant stone because it attracts the right kind of buyers for you. You know, it keeps you safe from tricksters, it keeps you safe from anybody who's trying to cheat you on money. So this is also a wonderful stone to have if you do something related to stock markets or related to anywhere where there's a high volatility when it comes to your money or your finances. Okay, this is also a wonderful stone when it comes to, and I'm not saying, okay, that's a wrong word. The word is not wonderful. It is powerful when it comes to seeing the truth of a situation. Carrying this crystal, working with this crystal, typically would mean that whether you're ready for it or not, it is literally the tower crystal of, like the tower card in tarot, it links to that tower energy. It will break through any delusions that you have about yourself, about people around you. It is literally the truth stone, okay? On that note, let us see what cards show up for you today. I'm going to keep this pretty short and simple. I'm trying to keep this a crisp video talking about whatever immediate guidance you need for your career, money, finances. We're going to be using the Moonology deck, the classic Raido tarot, and fortune cookies to wrap up this reading for you. So for pile number 1, Spirit, what do they need to know about career, money, finances? Okay, we have the first card out. What do they need to know for career, money, finances? Thank you. Okay, that card's already flipped. Okay, one of the messages clearly is, wow. And I never ignore what happens when a reading is on, because that's typically Spirit coming in to give a message to a larger collective. Something's knocking at your door. Something's trying to get your attention. Something's right there and asking to be heard or to be seen professionally for your career, an idea, an opportunity. And it's almost like you're asking to hold on because you're still prepping, you're still resting, you're still figuring out how do I get there. But that conversation has started, that initiation has started, and the knock on the door is right there. Okay, we will of course talk about the 4 of Swords. I want to just get more cards out, and the Page of Pentacles. The Earth sign energy is already, wow, we have the King of Wands here already. We talked about leadership, right? The King of Wands of course immediately talks and pulls attention towards leadership, and the Page of Pentacles. There are people above you and beneath you who perhaps do seek a lot of support currently and rely on a lot of your knowledge and your intuition. We have the Fool card, and wow, too many messages. Let me just not lose the theme. Let me get the cards out first. 3 of Pentacles. Okay. 3 more cards, please. Thank you. Pile number 1, career, money, finances. 6 of Pentacles. I mean, who doesn't want to see Pentacles and Kings on a career reading? That is just amazing. Okay, we have 2 cards out, Magician and the Page of Swords. Okay, the first message, and I don't want to forget it, so I just want to say that out loud first. And look at that. There's a divine counterpart energy here with King of Wands and Queen of Wands and the 10 of Cups. Okay, let's start talking. I really want to keep her here because I was drawn to that energy for sure. It's rare. I mean, it's a 78 card combination. There's a huge maths that goes into it. But to get the King and the Queen together is something that Spirit really wants you to draw the attention to. Hold on, let's make sure you can see all the cards. Okay, the first message I clearly want to give you guys is that if there is a new start or a new beginning that you've been hoping to come your way, the Chinese New Year will bring in a lot of clarity around the ideas about this, will set the tone already. Perhaps a lot of you, I feel like conversations have already started, ideas have started to come up as to how things would work out. But post February 2023, things start looking better. If you are watching this after February 2023, just take this as the next Chinese New Year. Chinese New Year's happen on the month of February every year. So the Chinese New Year has something to do with things starting off or kicking off a lot of things that are perhaps currently in the preparation mode or in the conversation mode. Okay, Let me first cover the zodiac signs because we do have a lot of them here. We do have clearly a strong fire sign combination which talks about action, orientation. So Leo and Sagittarius are the two stronger fire signs I see. Of course, there could be a relevant Aries energy here as well. There is the Magician which talks about the Gemini, and we do have the 2 pages which talk about something in the creation mode, working steadily, growing towards something. There could be younger people involved in this, or people who are, when I say younger, it doesn't feel like it's younger by age, but it's younger by the journey that they are at, okay? There is a lot of business travel, of course, indicated, or work travel, or travel that brings you clarity as to where you're going with your professional space, with your career aspiration, with your ambitions. And there is a moment in time coming soon, especially around December, or a conversation around December, because that's the Sagittarius season primarily, where you're being asked to take a leap of faith, okay? The Fool card has some specifics here. He travels light, he has the sun right behind him, and he has that loyal dog. And there's a certain amount of foolhardiness, almost to the sense of the optimism that comes with knowing I'm not going to fall, I'm just going to take this leap of faith, okay? So if there is a leap of faith, a new beginning that you have been hoping, 0 and the Fool, you know, the Fool card is the 0 and Magician is the first card, which talks about starting something and knowing that you have all the resources, all the skill sets handy to make this work out for you. The Magician also talks about this is a wonderful time for skill development or skill sets improvement, okay, especially related to communication or a particular education that you want to get into. You need to develop that skill set, okay? And the Fool, of course, talks about while you may be the leader, while you may have great team here supporting you, helping you, this is that combination of teamwork, of support coming in, of collaborations happening, of help being given and received, and a very beautiful balance when it comes to complementary skill sets coming together. The Fool also always reminds you to never lose out on being a beginner, or never lose out on being a learner, on being that I'm at the beginning of the journey, and the excitement with which somebody approaches the beginning of the journey, right? They don't know where they're going, they don't know what things awaits them, but that spirit of adventure, that spirit of learning drives them to where they're going. There is, of course, strong supportive energies here with the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands. If that is a message that resonates with you, there is, of course, a romantic energy at work for you, if that's the space that you're in. If not, ignore that message. But intuitively, very strong messages here. The Wands energy has very strong action and intuition at play. When you're listening to your intuition, you're typically taking the great action at play, right? So take time to meditate on what really draws from your soul rather than something which is a rushed up decision, okay? Rest is going to be supremely important for you to also perform at the peak of what you want to do. So there's a balance needed. Take help, delegate. The Six of Pentacles often talks about also delegating at the right time. Give away the things that hold you back, or travel light, donate, give away, so that you can start the new journey light and light-hearted, okay? Any of you who are musicians, singers, anything to do with, you know, like a radio jockey, anything to do with communication, speech, there's a lot of prosperity coming your way when it links to speech. Salesman, a tarot reader, we all just talk, right? That's where a lot of abundance and prosperity comes into way. Some great communication happening for sure. And if you're awaiting a promotion, I mean, when you see the King of Wands, that's an assured promotion or a growth, okay? The Ten of Cups as the underlying energy does talk to me about, while all of this is great, I feel like I'm talking to a specific set of people here who are first being asked to question, it's all great, but does it make you happy? It's all great, but is that really what you want? Because if you don't want to do something, but you're doing something just because it feels like the right next step, or it feels like the logical next step, then this is the right time to pivot out of that space and ask yourself, what is the different new start that I need? I don't feel that message would resonate with most of you, because it seems like as if you're very clear-headed as to where you're going. But if it does, then this is a good time to also pivot around and look for that new road, and it would be well received. Emotional contentment is definitely indicated with whatever you start off now, okay? Because the Ten of Cups talks about true joy, true fulfillment. For me, the Ten of Cups keyword is always fulfillment, okay? So do you feel fulfilled with the journey that you're beginning, with what you're learning and where you are in life, okay? People are listening to you very carefully. The Page of Swords means that somebody is eyeing you, they're looking at you, they're listening to you. So be mindful of what comes out of your mouth because every word you say would be weighed upon, okay? Slow and steady, of course, wins the race. Take the leap of faith, take risk, but do you have a plan? Financially, when it comes to money, this is not a time to go solo, but it's better that you consult those who would perhaps know things better than you when it comes to financial investments, financial decision making. So don't make a decision just in your head and just go after it. That's not the kind of take the leap of faith that we're talking about, because the Magician does talk about you have resourceful people around you who can help you guide and navigate through whatever decision you're trying to make. Don't try to do this all alone, okay? I do, of course, sense with the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands that energy of compatibility. Well, now this could be professional compatibility. This could be somebody having those romantic feelings for you and a secret admirer at work, which is of course the Page of Swords. Page of Swords does keep secrets and spy on you. Be mindful though, just a slight disclaimer or a word of caution. If you are at a workplace where privacy and confidentiality, and if you're, let's say you're in a government organization and your files have a lot of privacy and confidentiality, this combination can sometimes indicate about somebody trying to pry into that confidential space, okay? So recheck your passwords and be mindful of what you share with whom. We're going to move towards the Moonology deck and see what shows up for you as additional guidance. If there's a loan that you've been hoping to get sanctioned, the Six of Pentacles always confirms that loan will get clear. There's a reading I did recently, I think it was next 100 days, and there was a very specific message about education loan or loans or sanctioning of supportive people coming in. I'll give you the link of that reading. Perhaps you want to watch that for anybody who's going through that, that visa approval, a loan sanction, a paperwork which needs to be cleared, okay? Let's see. We do have also, I've noticed that now, the Gemini and the Sagittarius axis, okay, which I'm not too sure, but I think the North Node will transit through this Gemini Sagittarius axis again sometime in 2023. I'm not sure. Check the transits, and that could be a significant time for something new to come into your life, okay? Fool, of course, also talks about collaborating with people overseas, because the Fool is a long journey. The Fool starts a long journey. Wow. Your dreams need a practical plan. We talked about this already with the Page of Pentacles. Full moon in Taurus is right around the corner. Hold on. Full moon in Taurus is on November 20th or the 21st. Make a detailed plan. If you've not yet put pen to paper or an Excel sheet, I'm literally seeing an Excel sheet, to put in your numbers, to put in how you're going to achieve what you plan to achieve, because there is a strong manifestation energy when the Fool and the Magician gets in. The Fool is at that receptive mode. It allows the universe to surprise it, and the Magician has the right resources. So this is a wonderful time for you to put actually the Excel sheet's numbers into play, practical plan into play, okay? We have a lot of full moon energy. Something is clearly completing, or a reason to celebrate comes into for you. You are good enough. Some of you are questioning, are you worthy of what you're going to receive? I mean, come on. Of course, yes. Full moon in Virgo happens in the month of Feb. Wow, I like it. I did talk about the Chinese New Year, didn't I? So it is full moon in Virgo, which happens in the month of February, which is the Pisces season. So February, March is a significant time for you guys. Don't question your worth. And the color green is now popping up very much. We talked about plants. You may want to spend time outdoors. You may want to connect to the energy of plants. You may have an ancestor who was a really good gardener for some of you, okay? Just an additional confirmation. See, another green, and we have Virgo again. Virgo does rule the zodiac, the house of 6, which is the house of daily work. So if you're somebody who's in a 9-to-5 job or in a professional job, this is a very good omen. A time to give rather than get. We talk about charity and donation, bringing in abundance for you. In whatever form or shape you can give, and especially give to females. Okay, like on a Friday, maybe you want to donate to an elderly home or an orphanage, or do something for women and children primarily. That's the energy that's coming in. We do have the Pisces axis here. There is a, if you've noticed, there's a Gemini and a Sagittarius axis here, and there's a Virgo and a Pisces axis happening for you. Those are the placements in which you do have significant planets. Those are just some additional confirmation about this reading. If you don't, it's okay. That's just somebody who knows their birth chart. That's an additional confirmation. Okay, we will wrap this up with some fortune cookies. I mean, I didn't see a negative card here to give you a negative message, except that just be cautious of at what stage are you giving out what piece of information to your professional space, okay? Okay, we have decluttering. I think the winter season is a good time for you to let go of. I did cover that message, didn't I? Like, if you can make space for giving away. I think I said that. If I didn't, like, when you pack up the things of the past, for some of you, it could be literally like closing off the older Excel sheets, making a new one, closing off the previous bank year's book, the financial year ending, which is again that Chinese New Year, and starting something fresh, starting something new. Stop questioning if you would be good enough at it. You will learn along the way. Okay, that's another message that I'm getting for pile 1. You will learn along the way how to do that new thing rather than trying to learn before and then step into it. Okay, somebody needed to hear that. Declutter your life, let go of correspondence, objects and people you no longer want. Someone will hurt your feelings and reveal a new side of themselves that you may wish to avoid. I strongly feel like you don't want to share. There's a large plan at play and you don't want to share. Wow, that's a confirmation. The doorbell rang. I'm saying something which is valid. There is a large plan at play professionally for you. There's a large plan at play financially for you, and you want to hold back sharing it out to the world before it's done and signed. Okay, that's a very, okay, we have 3 cards out. Commitment. A new commitment is indicated around love or business. It will make you feel better. We do have the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands, of course. Be on guard against chaos or unforeseen perils, or emotional upheaval are foretold. The only thing you have to avoid, pile number 1s, is professionally or in your, even for if you're a student as well, an emotional outburst which causes a scene, okay? Because you may get into those situations where people will try to trigger you to have an emotional outburst. If you can just keep that tap off, things would suddenly I couldn't speak. Sail smoothly. Okay. Friendship. A friend needs your help. Your kindness and excellent counseling skills will put them back on track. This brings me back to, of course, balancing. Also, we had that rest card, right? So if you need time out to kind of just go back, focus something at your home, focus something for friends and family, you don't have to stress out that I'm going to miss out on something at work. Okay, that will still work out for you. In fact, that time out and that lighter conversations may actually be really good for you professionally. Hope you found some great messages and readings and inspiration through this. Do leave me the fire, the flame emoji in the comment section below. I literally saw 222 while I said that. Some of you could be seeing the number 222 and that Google your own, do your own research what that angel number means, but that's just a confirmation if you are watching 222 a lot in your life. That's just, these messages are for you. I love doing what I do, and thank you so much for spending time with me today here. I will see you in your next reading. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome, my beloved pile 2s. Those of you who picked Raido, the first thing, of course, that this rune talks about is traveling, long distance travel, seeing the world, exploring the globe, going places. Some of you may not actually be traveling, but the word that I'm really channeling is going places. You're going places, you're discovering new horizons, you're figuring out a new arena, and somewhere wherein you are a newcomer, somewhere where I was interrupted while I did that, and I of course noticed what happens. Some of you have traveling plans for work or are trying to get a job abroad which will have interruptions or obstacles. Don't let that demotivate you. See it in the sense of now may not be the time and spirit is asking you to figure something out before you take that action, but the thing will happen for you. So if you are trying to get a professional opportunity somewhere out of your current country, it will work out for you, but you will have to face certain amount of obstacles around it. Learning about different cultures, learning a new language, picking up a new skill set when it links to a cross-cultural understanding will be tremendously beneficial for this file when it comes to career and professional growth. Okay, we move to the next thing that you've picked is of course Pyrite, which is called the Fool's Gold. It is linked to the energy of Leo, so if you do have a strong Leo in your birth chart, this is a crystal I strongly recommend for you. This is a very masculine crystal which talks about our ability to take action, our willpower, our determination to do something. And it's beautiful that we did have that obstacle for you, but it talks about do not let the obstacles deter you. In fact, stay focused, stay disciplined, and things will work out beautifully for you. We're going to keep this pretty short and simple today, or I'm trying to. I struggle to do short readings, but we're going to see whatever comes up for you for your career, money, finances. Like I said, it's a timeless reading. Some of you, I feel like, may want to come back in a couple of months and pick a different pile as well, because I feel like for you guys there is multiple messages. I'm also focused towards the countries that I'm seeing on the rune, which is Australia and France, more strongly, more than other countries. So you may actually have an opportunity that comes your way, a business opportunity that comes your way, a travel that comes your way for specifically Australia and France. Okay, let us get some guidance cards or what to expect for career, money, finances for pile number 2. What's happening for pile number 2 in career? Okay, see, we do have slow movement and steady movement coming in with the Knight of Pentacles. He does not move fast. He has a plan for everything. That's too many cards flipping, so I'm not taking that. He has a plan for everything. He has rechecked everything. If you do have a important business meeting, this card also talks about, do you have a detailed plan? Are you prepped enough? Or are you thinking that you're prepped enough, but you do know that you do need more revision? 4 of Wands, this definitely talks about a celebration, a graduation, a completion of something, and a reason to bring people together to celebrate something. Okay, this could be literally an event when you get opportunities or you draw in success. 4 of Cups, we do have 2 4s here already for you, which is the number of stability, of creation. I feel like for this pile, you've been feeling stuck for a while, like not a lot is happening, sometimes you get bored or discontent, almost to the point of lacking gratitude for what you have. And Spirit really wants to come in and say, unless you are ready to explore and be grateful for what you already have, the new becomes stuck for you. Okay, we have, oh wow, the Knight of Pentacles becomes the King of Pentacles. This is one of the best cards to get in a career reading, the King of Pentacles, of course. We've got one king in every deck so far. Like pile 1 had King of Wands, pile 2 had King of Pentacles, and we do have that Pyrite energy now all the more shining in, which is your active masculine side. The King of Pentacles is generous, he has a plan, and he's supremely rooted in logical thinking, in knowing which plan will work. There's a strong discipline and a process to what's going on. We have the Tower card here, which is a massive breakthrough coming in. I felt that energy of stuck, and I like that under the 4 of Cups is the Tower, which is the beautiful breakthrough that the universe steps in and gets. I mean, wow, star to the, okay, this card is showing up pretty much in every third reading that we are getting nowadays. So King of Wands, leadership and healing. Okay, and these two actually are right after each other. After the Tower comes the Star. Okay, after you break away from something that I feel like this is more internal for this file. Okay, there is a thought process that you have struggled with for a very long time, and there's a breakthrough coming. Perhaps you don't think that you speak well enough. Perhaps you don't feel like you can take feedback well enough. Perhaps you don't feel like you're good at working in a team. There could be any kind of things that you've struggled with for a very long time, and you get a breakthrough in that, a healing happens, and you are recognized for the efforts you've made. Oh my God. I'm really sad I didn't pick pile 2, huh? Okay, Wheel of Fortune. This talks about the tables turning in your favor, things working out for you, having faith, and a year from now, life would be very different than how you see it today, okay? Your underlying energy is another king. That's 3 kings, and the only king missing is the King of Swords, which often draws our attention to what you really need is practical, logical thinking and expert advice. With the 2 kings showing up here, you may have more than one strong leader in your life, pile number 2s. More than one strong person who can actually guide you to navigate through different challenges that you're facing. There's a lot of mentorship. There's a lot of support. There's a lot of, you are being noticed for your efforts by those in power. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, you will get a lot of opportunities, especially within the year from now, whenever you're watching this, a year from now, within this 1-year cycle, to rise in social status, to gain more stardom, to gain opportunities to take the stage. If you are an artist, whether on social media, whether you do something which links to gaining that virality, gaining that fame, this is a wonderful spread. I mean, I cannot talk well enough of your horizons expanding, you getting businesses from across the borders, you getting an opportunity to work with people who are well established and well accomplished, and getting the opportunity to learn from different kinds of mentors or leaders. Okay, the star card also brings our focus back to what broke away in the past should not be holding you back right now from moving ahead and taking that next leap further. If there is any kind of a program wherein you will get an opportunity to learn about financial know-how, your financial knowledge needs to increase. Do you know how money works? Do you know how savings works? Do you know where to invest money in? Financial literacy is what Spirit wants to draw your attention to. Do you know how to grow your money? Do you know how to save your money? If you're somebody who spends too much and you're being asked to save as much as you earn, you will earn a lot in the next 1 year, but are you saving, and are you saving for those rainy days, and do you understand wealth acquisition as much as you understand gaining wealth, okay, or sustaining wealth? Okay, with the two kings here and the Knight of Pentacles, I also feel like this is not a time for you to do anything solo. You will need this help and support of those in power. So go out and ask support and have that patience. Pentacles is an energy which demands patience. Things do not work out overnight. We did see that obstacle energy coming in for you as well. So have patience for things to move at the pace that they need to. Okay, any event, webinar, session, seminar that you get invited to, show up and participate. The energy of participation, you can't just sit there and waiting for universe to throw something at you. You got to take initiatives. The words initiatives is repeatedly channeling for me for pile number 2. So unless you take that initiative, and unless you are keen to increase your financial knowledge, the money will stay as is. Okay, there's a strong fixed sign energy here. So Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio, and I always forget one of the: Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Leo. Okay, those are the 4 fixed signs. We do have the Aquarius sign repeating here with the star card. Okay, another thing, too many obstacles. I'm again repeatedly saying for this pile, don't expect things to fall into your lap. You will be facing a lot of resistance to grow what you're growing, and that is the lesson of your career or your professional goal right now. Do you have the persistence? That's the word I was looking for. The persistence with the 4 and the 4, the stability, the emotional stability to go through how life is taking you along. Okay, opportunities to travel will give you perspective. I think I've covered that extensively. The Aquarius energy is strong here, which again tells me, like pile 1, things may start moving for you from February next, whenever is the next February, whenever you're watching this. Okay, I'm going to move towards Moonology cards to see what shows up for you for your career. What guidance do we have for pile number 2 for career, money, finances? Okay, we have, wow, we talked Aquarius, and here it is. The full moon in Aquarius happens in the month of August, typically August, September. Show the world the real you, which again talks about don't allow the past, don't allow the fears of the past to hold you back. Okay, even if there are flaws in you, even if there is some things that you're not that good at, only if you tell people that this is where I need help, help can come your way. Okay, all right, we have a time for healing. Star card talks all about healing, right? After that tower moment comes the healing. And we have the full moon in Gemini. The answers you need are coming. The full moon in Gemini happens in the Sagittarius season, which is right around the corner when I'm making this video. Some of you have too many questions which keep you stuck in your mind. How will this work out? The how of something keeps you in limbo. Okay, this is a pile that tries to get the how of something before they take that first step. You're being pushed by universe. Some of you should watch pile number 1 because it had a similar message. Go take that leap of faith and learn on the go. Figure out things on the go, and don't try to be the best at something the first time you're doing it. Okay, because if these kind of struggles happen with people who are just trying to be the absolute best, they want that nobody has done this as great as you can kind of sentences or feedback all the time. So they're not ready to not be the best one, but just gain it for the experience. Do things right now, pile number 2, for the experience of it, for the knowledge of it, for the education of it. And a lot of the journey that you're trying to take will become way, way easier for you, okay? Let us move towards fortune, please, for pile number 2. What does pile number 2 expect for career, money, finances? Some of you may be interested in horse riding and physical activities, and I'm saying horse riding and this card has already fallen off, which is health. An excellent time to start an exercise program or diet. Many new friendships are on the horizon. If you are literally in a health related business, healthcare or fitness or gym, or you're a yoga instructor, that is a supremely good omen. If not, how much you move your body and how well you take care of your fitness has a direct impact on how well you're taken professionally, okay? Maybe the way you look, maybe the way you walk, maybe the way you present yourself has a tremendous impact as well related to fitness. How much work you can do is of course also related to health, okay? Love life. Affairs of the heart could cause future problems, but take heart as difficult situations will be resolved by a good decision with this week. This somehow makes me also think of, are you projecting a lot of your personal life troubles on your professional life, which sometimes creates more obstacles? You know, the person stays the same as they say. So it's not, you know, some people struggle with keeping their personal and their professional projections and experiences separately. Sometimes maybe you look at people at your professional space in the same lens through which you've seen the past happen, okay? Tough times and trying times. Tough times ahead, think long term and make decisions accordingly. Avoid negative people at all costs. I also feel like there could be a great opportunity that you tap into, or you are currently tapped into, but there is that inner intrusive thoughts that wants to run away because things get difficult for you sometimes. Pile number 2, stick to it, okay? That's what I'm saying. Resilience is the need of the hour. Guard yourself against deception and be careful of making foolish mistakes at this time. It almost feels like unless you allow yourself to sabotage a lot of opportunities that are right there for you, that you're perhaps already tapped into because of that inner chatter, because of negativity, because of people telling you this is not going to work out for you well enough. Birds started chirping as I said that. If you can allow that excessive mental chatter to stay calm, things will work out beautifully for you, pile number 2s, okay? I have loved doing this reading for you. There is a lot of abundance coming your way. Leave me a star emoji if you've reached all the way till the end of this reading. Tells me that you have not only enjoyed this but resonated with this and you've stuck along. Tells other people which pile you picked. I will see you in your next reading. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome to my beautiful and beloved pile number 3s. You know, I like to keep it real, so I just realized that I can't remember what this rune is about, and that typically means something for a reading. Perhaps the first thing that Spirit wants to draw attention to is your forgetfulness. Are you somebody who typically forgets a lot, or you lead to financial or career issues because you forget to pay your bill on time, or you forget to write something down, and there's an energy of annoyance with this pile because they forget, okay? Maybe other people get annoyed because you're constantly forgetting things, or maybe you're annoyed at yourself for forgetting. That said, let's now actually see what this rune means for you, because I really don't remember what this rune card means, okay? So let's go to Wunjo and I'll read it out from the book. This also talks about perhaps you want to gain the answer right from the source instead of going through a diluted form in some way or other, okay? This rune card talks all about joy and benefits of positivity. It tends to indicate happiness, success and harmony and exciting new beginnings. The joy can be inspired by external events, fulfilling relationships, or an unexpected but very welcome development. It also refers to a very quiet inner joy derived from feelings of gratitude and peace. Either way, there are blissful associations with this card, or the potential for bliss if you stay optimistic and understand that true happiness comes from within. This card could be urging you to become more aware of your state of mind, because focusing on negative will only attract the negative. If things aren't going your way or you're encountering obstacles and setbacks, negativity may be a contributing fact. Focusing with a positive attitude is what brings the joy forward. The keywords I've picked up here is optimism, bliss, focus, you know, that forgetfulness, focus on the positive, and bliss will attract towards you. That is clearly a message for pile number 3 as the first one. We now move to the crystal. Citrine is a wonderful stone when it comes to solar plexus healing, okay? It is an overall crystal, by the way, but if you have struggles with self-esteem, confidence, speaking your mind, knowing that money is not a negative thing, some of you may literally have money blockages, you have a negative relationship with the concept of money itself, you struggle with understanding the power of money, or you're obsessively focused on money. It could be either spectrum. So a blockage around money doesn't always mean that the person lacks money. It could just mean their understanding of the financial resource has a blockage. Working with Citrine, especially keeping it in your wallet, helps clear that out. And of course, just carrying a crystal is not magical until you're doing the mental work, the inner work that is linked to it. Ask yourself, where do I get these negative thoughts about rich people? Am I jealous of other people who have got success? Am I judging the success of others because I think others had it easy and I did not? Those are the kind of negative blockages that typically create a negative relationship with money, okay? Let's look at what tarot wants to tell us for pile number 3 for career, money, finances. What does, okay, that almost jumped a tint, so we're not taking that. For career, money, finances, what does pile number 3 need to know? What does pile number 3 need to know for career, money, finances? Okay, what does pile number 3 need to know? We have the King of Pentacles. I was thinking of saying while I was shuffling that I feel like it's pile 2s who's also picked pile 3s, or if you are a pile 3 who's picked pile 2, there's an interconnection here, okay? We have the King of Pentacles, we have the Hangman, and it's funny, we've just talked about that in the rune, that your point of view of looking at something is the problem. The problem is actually not the problem, okay? We do see here the Queen of Wands, could be 1 and 3s as well, okay? Queen of Wands, we talked about confidence, we talked about, she's all about confidence, she's all about knowing how to present herself, she's all about saying the right thing at the right time, owning the stage, being charismatic. Chariot talks about movement and is the Cancer energy. We have the Cancer Pisces axis here strongly with those 2 major arcanas. We have, this guy has shown up in every reading today, okay? So clearly leaders and leadership is the focal point for the collective of Tarot Pile, and this combination, if you've come from pile 1, I'm going to write a note in the description for pile 1s to watch pile 3s, because this feels like as if there's a connection here. Okay, 9 of Swords, Empress. Okay, I also feel some of you could be working with somebody who picked pile 1. Okay, very specific message. I'm sure you wouldn't know that, but maybe you want to listen to that and see if there's somebody in your life like that. Empress. So we have Libra, Cancer, Pisces, apart from the King and the Queen of Wands, which does talk about the counter, the divine part of the fire signs. Okay, and we have Death here, which is the Scorpio energy. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcanas out of 8 cards. That's 50% of your deck or your reading just being major arcanas. The underlying energy being the High Priestess, which is another major arcana. First of all, those of you who are into any kind of a spiritual business, tarot, Reiki, healing, astrology, yoga, anything related to spirituality or the connection of spirit or the connection of the divine, this is a supremely auspicious spread for you. If you have been considering a business plan or a model around spirituality, again, this is success, okay? What holds you back? Again, which your rune card already has clarified, it's like as if the only message of this reading is get out of your head and get out of believing that you can't do this, you're not meant for this, you're not worthy enough, did you have it lucky, will other, this file suffers from imposter syndrome. Okay, and I understand that we all have it. It's like not believing that you're worthy of something that you're getting, while everybody else in your life can see, oh my god, this person deserves this and so much more. Okay, there is a need for you to balance your active masculine and active feminine side. Sometimes you get into overgiving, sometimes you completely shut down. Both of that is a challenge for your professional space. Okay, the Empress does talk about glow up. It does talk about, and especially any of you who are also into any kind of a industry which links to beauty, or it could not be directly beauty, which could also be like, let's say you're an actor, let's say you are a salesman, and in all of these professions, how you present yourself, how you look has a tremendous impact on your audience, right? There's a glow up coming your way. There is a Queen of Wands to the Empress is like, don't mess with me, I know what I'm doing. Okay, I also strongly feel for many of you, because I got that message very strongly, it could be like you have somebody for pile 1, because pile 1 had this combination and they got it first in our reading, right? You may have somebody in your life with this axis as well, the Libra Scorpio axis in their birth chart, and who actually plays that divine role of pulling you up to that space of, like kind of that confidence space. Okay, if that is you who has this axis in your chart as well, this also talks about, are you ready to look at life from a different point of view? And perhaps you've gotten into somewhere this negative chatter that things are always hard for me, I have to earn everything, life is always so difficult. And if you could change that narrative, fight those inner demons, those intrusive thoughts. I think we talked about intrusive thoughts in pile 1 as well. Those intrusive thoughts, you can see the manifestations coming into play. Okay, chanting is supremely beneficial for this pile for career and financial abundance. I genuinely don't see negative cards here except the 9 of Swords, which literally is, swords are our minds, swords are our lack of sleep. Your sleep cycle also affects how productive you are on the next day, pile number 3s. So please sleep on time if you're not already doing that. The Death card does talk about a transformation happening. So I feel like a lot of you, when you've come into this reading, you already had this awakening. You've already noticed that if I just change 20% of the things that I'm doing, I will make that 80% impact, and that transformation is coming your way. If you're watching this when I post it, or perhaps the next November, things start getting better for you from the next November, and July, whenever is the next July, will bring in a lot of abundance and prosperity. Movement and transformation is strongly a message here. Some of you are being pushed, and you will get a lot of opportunities to travel, especially travel for work or travel for some sort of a learning. Okay, Chariot does talk about moving ahead or moving on. If you get some setbacks, if things don't always work out exactly the way you wanted, pile number 3s, that's not the end of the world. You're just being asked to, like, it's okay, take it as a part of the process and move to the next immediate step. You over pressurize yourself when you expect to do it right the very first time. Okay, again, I'm repeatedly saying for pile number 3s, if you are somebody related to spiritual business or cosmetics business or artwork, this is tremendously positive when it comes to the spread that you have. Listen to your intuition and do not allow your lizard brain, the part of the brain that keeps us, it's an important part of the brain because it keeps us away from danger. This is a spread that's talking about change this perspective and take those tiny leap of faiths wherever they are needed, and you will see tremendous progress happening for you. Okay, physical beauty and physical health will be of importance. So make sure that you wear the right clothes, that you look good, that you feel good in your body, that you do take care of yourself in the right sense to be respected by others. The amount of respect you give yourself and your body will be directly proportional to the amount of respect you get in your professional space as well for some of you. Okay, again, artists or people who are on the stage, you can expect great things coming your way from July. Okay, or rather March onwards. Nothing is set in stone. This card almost came out, but then I shuffled again because it came with too many stones. Mutable moon. Some of you may have your moon sign in Gemini, Sagittarius, or Virgo, or Pisces. Those are the 4 mutable signs. There is a reading I've done for November monthly if you're watching this November, and I've specifically done messages for cardinal, fixed and mutable signs. You may have a message there. I'll give you that link in the description box below. Nothing is set in stone, which again talks about you're too rigid in the thought of if A happens, that means it will always lead to B. You don't know what you've not seen. You don't know the unknown. So keep your power of imagination on. Keep yourself, the Hangman always talks about he has seen the world in one way and he's ready to change the perspective and do something different. Full moon in Aries happened in the month of October. Perhaps you've set this in motion already in the month of October. A fiery climax approaches, and something you actually believe is done and dusted can resurface for you professionally. It feels like an opportunity, of course, and you will get a second chance at it. Don't mess it up. Have faith in your dreams. I love this as the final card for the Moonology deck, because it talks about, again, okay, I think you guys should definitely watch pile 1, pile 3s, okay, and I'll let pile 1s know in the comments that they should watch that as well. This talks about stay on your path. Okay, don't quit on what you're doing, because what you're doing will pay off. Even financially, if you've invested somewhere, stick to it. The things will change, the things will roll, and the movement will work out in your favor. Okay, let us get some fortune cookies. You're also being asked to travel towards the water bodies, pile number 3s, okay? Or working with water, keeping a fountain at your workstation will really help you. Sexuality, we did talk about this with the Empress energy. Existing relationships could find a new passion and heightened sexual attraction. Opportunities for marriage and good family life are strong, but if single, beware of temptation that could lead to trouble. A child will also bring you great joy. I strongly feel for you guys, Empress does talk about, some of you may be actually going on mat leaves who are watching this, but if that's not where you are in life, it also talks about creating something, okay? Empress is creation. Empress is allowing herself to birth something which she's perhaps good at. This card has come out, I think, in 2 out of 3 readings. To think long term, otherwise the tough times approach, which is why I'm saying now is not a quick time to start something random. If you have been working at something, stick to it. Sunshine. The sun is shining on your career and business. Fabulous growth in communication. I think you would soon be surprised by also how people come up to you and tell you the things that they have randomly noticed in you as a professional and has perhaps inspired them. Okay. Wow, that's the second message we've got on communication. A reunion could bring love or a kindling of friendship. A lucky win seems likely. Some of you, I mean, I'm not promoting that you go buy lottery tickets, but if you are into lottery tickets or gambling, you may actually, wow, I was talking lottery tickets and that's your underlying energy, okay? The luck could literally be on your side and you may get a lucky win, okay? For some of you, it could be just you get a gift and somebody wants to make you feel good as a client, or somebody just sends you a thank you note or an appreciation email that really sets the more, that confidence that I'm doing something right, I must be doing something good. And you need to give those affirmations to yourself. This pile needs to work on affirmations, work with the energy of sun, use the color yellow and invite that prosperous energy into your life. I wish you success as always. This was beautiful to read. Leave me the sun emoji in the comment section below. Tells me that you've reached all the way till the end of this reading and tells other people which pile you had picked. Do watch pile 1. I strongly feel there's a message for you in pile 1 and I will see you in your next reading. Take care. Bye-bye.